Have you ever walked into a room feeling completely broken on the inside? Yet the moment someone asked how you were doing, you instinctively smiled and said, "I'm blessed and highly favored." We have become masters of spiritual camouflage. We wear perfect masks to church, recite scripted prayers that sound theological, and go through the motions of religious duty while our souls are privately dying in silence. We spend years trying to convince God, others, and even ourselves that we have it all together. But here is the radical truth that religion rarely tells you. God is not impressed by your performance, and He is not satisfied by your empty perfection. He does not want your polished spiritual resume. He wants your raw, unfiltered heart. Religion teaches us to hide our wounds, but relationship invites us to bring those wounds into the light. Modern church culture can subtly convince us that God only accepts the polished version of who we ought to be. But the God of the Bible has always drawn near to the broken, the honest, and the messy. If you are exhausted from playing church, tired of pretending, and desperate for a faith that carries real power, it is time to stop being religious and start getting real with God. To understand why authenticity is the gateway to divine intimacy, we must confront the contrast between dead religion and a living relationship. In the New Testament, Jesus saved His harshest critiques not for notorious sinners or social outcasts, but for the most religious leaders of His day, the Pharisees. They were impeccably moral on the surface. They fasted twice a week, memorized scripture, gave precise tithes down to their garden spices, and performed elaborate public prayers. Yet in Matthew 15:8, Jesus exposed the emptiness behind their perfect image, quoting Isaiah, "These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." Later in Matthew 23:27, He called them whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of the bones of the dead and everything unclean. Dead religion focuses entirely on external behavior while leaving the inner life to decay. It turns prayer into a formal speech, worship into a performance, and faith into a suffocating burden of impossible expectations. True intimacy with God begins when you drop the act and let Him meet you where you actually are, not where you pretend to be. Look at the life of King David, a man Scripture calls a man after God's own heart. David was far from flawless. He made catastrophic moral failures, struggled with intense fear, and committed sins that brought devastating consequences to his family and kingdom. So why did God cherish David's heart above all others? Because David was intensely, unapologetically real with Him. Read the Psalms, and you won't find neat, sanitized prayers. You'll find a man pouring out his unfiltered soul. In Psalm 13, David doesn't open with formal praise. He opens with raw anguish. "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever?" In Psalm 22, he cries, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And when the prophet Nathan confronted him over his secret sin, David didn't offer excuses. He fell on his face and prayed, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." He did not hide his anger, guilt, or confusion under a fake spiritual smile. He brought his turbulent emotions straight to the throne of grace, understanding that God can handle honest pain far better than fake worship. As Psalm 62 verse 8 puts it, "Trust in Him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts to Him, for God is our refuge." Consider the parable Jesus tells in Luke 18 of the Pharisee and the tax collector. Two men went up to the temple to pray. The Pharisee prayed about himself, "God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get." It was little more than a self-righteous announcement of his own achievements. But the tax collector stood at a distance, wouldn't even lift his eyes to heaven, and beat his chest, praying only, "God, have mercy on me, a sinner." No accomplishments, no excuses, just brokenness and a desperate need for grace. Jesus revealed the shocking outcome. It was the honest tax collector, not the pristine Pharisee, who went home justified. God is not looking for your self-righteousness. He is looking for your surrender. Psalm 34:18 promises that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. We see the same principle in John 4 when Jesus meets the Samaritan woman at Jacob's well, a woman carrying deep social stigma, rejected by her community on her 6th relationship. When Jesus pointed to the reality of her life, her instinct was to pivot into a religious debate about the proper mountain for worship. She tried to hide behind theology to avoid dealing with her actual life. But Jesus dismantled the deflection, telling her in John 4:23 that the Father seeks worshipers who worship in the Spirit and in truth. He wasn't interested in religious geography or institutional posturing, only in unfiltered honesty. The moment she stopped hiding and acknowledged her real life, she experienced a spiritual awakening that transformed her entire city. Getting real with God also means bringing your struggles and doubts into the light instead of burying them under religious guilt. In Genesis 32, Jacob wrestles all night with an angel of the Lord, refusing to let go until he is blessed. God doesn't strike him down for wrestling. He renames him Israel, a one who strives with God. Likewise, in John 20, when Thomas refuses to believe in the resurrection without proof, Jesus doesn't cast him out for his doubt. He steps into the room and offers his wounded hands, meeting Thomas exactly in his skepticism and turning it into conviction. God is never intimidated by your questions. He would rather have an honest, wrestling conversation with you than a hollow declaration of faith you don't actually feel. So how do you move from religious performance to authentic relationship in daily life? First, overhaul the way you pray. Stop giving God pre-written speeches that lack personal heart. Talk to Him as your Father and closest confidant. If you're angry, tell Him you're angry. If you feel abandoned, say so. Prayer was never meant to be a performance meant to win His approval. It's a safe space where you expose your true heart so His grace can heal you. Second, stop trying to clean up your life before you draw near Him. One of religion's biggest lies is that you must fix your behavior before you're worthy of Him. But you don't clean yourself up before a shower. You get in the shower because you need to get clean. Jesus touched lepers, sat with tax collectors, and loved outcasts before they ever changed. Come to Him with your mess, your habits, your lingering pain. He isn't a judge waiting to condemn you. He's the great physician waiting to restore you. Third, embrace obedience motivated by love, not legalistic fear. Religion obeys out of fear of punishment, keeping score of every victory and failure. Relationship obeys out of gratitude for what Christ already accomplished on the cross. When you realize you are fully known and fully loved despite your flaws, obedience stops being a duty and becomes a delight. In Jeremiah 29:13, God promises, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Notice He doesn't say you'll find Him through perfect performance or religious heritage. He says, with all your heart. It's time to drop the mask. Stop maintaining an exhausting image of spiritual perfection you were never created to carry. Step out of the shadows of dead religion and into the light of authentic intimacy with Jesus Christ. Lay down the performance, stop playing church, and bring your real, unfiltered heart to the altar and experience the freedom of being fully known and fully loved by God. If this spoke to you, like and subscribe for the next one, and drop a comment right now. I choose relationship over religion. Stay watchful, stay authentic, stay undefeated.